Renowned theologian reveals the hidden secret of number 7, the truth that will change your faith. Since the dawn of humanity, certain numbers have carried a symbolic weight that transcends cultures, religions, and eras. But among them all, one stands out as a divine signature hidden within creation: the number 7. Is it merely a coincidence that it appears repeatedly in sacred scriptures, natural cycles, and even fundamental mathematical structures of the universe? Or is there a secret buried for centuries, waiting to be uncovered? In this video, we will dive deep into the mind of a renowned theologian, whose research unveils unknown layers of the significance of 7 in faith. Get ready to question everything you know about spirituality, because what we are about to reveal could completely transform your view of God, the Bible, and the destiny of humanity. But before we reach the peak of this discovery, we need to go back to the beginning, the very start of everything. After all, if there is a starting point to understanding this mystery, it lies in the first 7 days of creation. In the book of Genesis, we are introduced to one of the Bible's most enigmatic accounts. God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. But why would the creator of the universe need to rest? And even more intriguingly, why does this 7-day cycle echo in the very structure of time and human nature? Some scholars claim that the number 7 represents a pattern of completion and perfection, but there are those who believe it hides a much deeper truth. What if the number 7 is not just a symbol of rest, but a code left by God, revealing a cosmic plan for all creation? This is not the only time 7 appears as a marker of something sacred. It repeats throughout the Bible in key moments of faith history. But what few realize is that this number also carries a divine signature beyond the scriptures. It manifests in one of Christianity's most mysterious concepts: the 7 spirits of God. Throughout history, kings, prophets, and wise men have recognized the number 7 as an emblem of perfection. But what does that really mean? Is this perfection merely symbolic, or is there a deeper spiritual foundation? Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because in the next videos, we'll explore even more mysteries you won't want to miss. In the Bible, the number 7 is relentlessly repeated in crucial moments. 7 days of creation, 7 churches in Revelation, 7 years of abundance and famine in Egypt, and even 7 petitions in the Lord's Prayer. Each of these occurrences seems to carry a divine purpose, a hidden message about the fullness of existence. But perhaps the most intriguing clue lies in a nearly forgotten passage from the book of Revelation: the 7 spirits of God. What do they represent? Are they connected to a celestial force that governs humanity? And more importantly, could understanding this concept open doors to a deeper connection between the earthly and the divine? If there is a secret hidden within the number 7, it certainly involves this revelation. But before deciphering it, we must return to a promise made by God. A promise that could change everything you believe about your own spiritual journey. Within the pages of Revelation, we find one of the Bible's most enigmatic concepts: the 7 spirits of God. What are they? 7 divine manifestations? 7 celestial attributes? Or something even deeper and more hidden, which few theologians dare to explore? Many believe these 7 spirits represent the totality of God's power, a revelation that can only be understood by those prepared to see beyond the obvious. And some suggest that these spirits are connected to the 7 lamps of fire before the heavenly throne, a detail that might conceal one of the greatest secrets about the nature of God. But this is not the only reference to the number 7 in Revelation. In fact, it seems to act as a guiding thread for the final events of humanity. What if the 7 spirits are just the beginning of a much greater divine plan? What if, behind this mystery, there is a revelation that could change the way we understand our faith? And this brings us to a crucial point: a promise made by God recorded in key passages of the Bible. A promise that not only reinforces the importance of the number 7, but may hold the key to unlocking this entire enigma. After all, there are 7 divine promises that, when understood, reveal a path to spiritual transformation. Are you ready to discover what they mean? So, had you heard about these facts before? Leave a comment and let's talk. Throughout the scriptures, God made countless promises to humanity. But when we examine the hidden patterns in the Bible, something intriguing emerges. 7 of these promises stand out as a guiding thread that spans generations, connecting from the time of Abraham to the prophecies of Revelation. Could this be a divine code hidden in plain sight? These 7 promises speak of redemption, protection, abundance, transformation, and ultimately, a new beginning. But there is something even more astonishing. Each of these promises seems to align with decisive moments in sacred history. Was the number 7 deliberately chosen by God to give us clues about the course of humanity? To understand this question, we must analyze one of the most fascinating aspects of Jesus' ministry. Interestingly, in one of the Gospels, he performs exactly 7 miracles that forever change the destiny of those around him. But were these events merely coincidental? Or were they connected to a much greater purpose, one that only the attentive can perceive? John, the beloved disciple, was the only one to record just 7 miracles of Jesus in his gospel. Why did he do that? The Bible is filled with accounts of the Messiah's miraculous deeds, yet John deliberately chose to recount exactly 7 signs as if he were revealing a secret to those paying attention. Each of these miracles has a profound meaning, going beyond the supernatural act itself. They seem to follow a hidden progression, guiding the reader on a spiritual journey that leads to a greater revelation. Could John have been showing us a roadmap to understanding the fullness of divine power? The first miracle, turning water into wine, marks the beginning of something new. The last, the resurrection of Lazarus, symbolizes the final victory over death. But between these 2 events, each of the other 5 miracles holds a piece of the puzzle that might change the way we interpret Christ's mission. But it doesn't stop there. In the book of Revelation, John takes us even deeper into this mystery by revealing an almost forbidden enigma: the 7 thunders. A revelation so powerful that it was sealed, prevented from being written down. What did these thunders say? And why did God forbid their message from being known? Few passages in the Bible are as enigmatic as this one. John, while writing the book of Revelation, hears 7 thunders sounding, about to reveal a great secret. But just as he prepares to record them, a heavenly voice stops him. What did these thunders say? Why was this message hidden from humanity? Many scholars believe this is one of the greatest mysteries of biblical prophecy. Could it be a revelation about the end times? Or a truth so impactful that it could shake the very foundations of faith? Thunders are often associated with the voice of God, the manifestation of his supreme power. And what if these 7 voices contained the key to understanding the final destiny of the world? The fact that they were sealed only increases their importance. What did God want to hide or prepare us to discover at the right time? Let's keep going, but first, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. While these questions remain unanswered, another hidden pattern offers clues about humanity's spiritual destiny: the perfect balance between the 7 deadly sins and the 7 fruits of the Spirit. A battle of forces that reveals an eternal dilemma and could determine the future of each of us. Humanity has always lived between 2 extremes: the darkness of sin and the light of virtue. But are these concepts merely abstract notions, or is there something deeper, connected to the very fabric of the spiritual universe? The 7 deadly sins represent the inclinations that separate man from God: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. But interestingly, the Bible also presents us with an exact balance: the 7 fruits of the Spirit, which bring love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. Are we witnessing a cosmic battle between these opposing forces? A system that governs humanity's free will, always oscillating between downfall and redemption? The fact that this balance is precisely represented by the number 7 cannot be ignored. And the most astonishing thing, These forces manifest not only in each person's individual life, but also in the grand narrative of humanity's destiny, a narrative that unfolds in the revelation of the 7 seals of Revelation, each one representing a crucial step in the final chapter of world history. The book of Revelation describes a chilling vision, a book sealed with 7 seals, which can only be opened by the Lamb. As each seal is broken, a new catastrophic event unfolds, bringing chaos, judgment, and shocking revelations. But what exactly do these seals represent? Some scholars believe that each seal marks a stage in human history, while others argue that they are future events yet to occur. What no one can deny is that, over the centuries, mysterious occurrences seem to echo the seals described in the prophecy. And there is something even more intriguing. The 7 seals do not stand alone. Immediately after them come the 7 trumpets, announcing even greater transformations. What connects these events? And more importantly, what happens when the last seal is broken? To unravel this mystery, we must take a closer look at what follows: the sounding of the 7 trumpets and the devastating impact they promise to bring upon the earth. As soon as the 7 seals are broken, the scene becomes even more intense. 7 angels appear, each holding a trumpet. With the blast of each trumpet, unprecedented disasters are unleashed. But are these events literal or symbolic? The descriptions are terrifying. Fire and blood falling from the sky, seas turning to blood, stars plummeting, darkness covering the earth. Is this an allegorical vision of humanity's spiritual struggles, or are we looking at a concrete prophecy about the end times? What's most intriguing is that many of these disasters echo past biblical events, such as the plagues of Egypt and Noah's flood. Does this mean that God has left us clues throughout history, preparing us for an ultimate moment? But before we can answer that question, there is another set of 7 that seems directly linked to these events: the 7 bowls of divine wrath. And this is where things get even more intriguing. If the seals brought revelations and the trumpets announced catastrophes, the 7 bowls of divine wrath represent the climax of this apocalyptic scenario. Here, there are no more warnings or chances for repentance, only the final judgment being poured out upon the earth. Each bowl contains a plague that strikes humanity in a devastating manner: diseases, scorching heat, darkness, earthquakes, and, finally, the complete destruction of Babylon. But why is the city of Babylon mentioned specifically? Some believe that Babylon does not refer to a physical location, but to a spiritual and political system that dominates the world. If that is true, could we be witnessing signs of its downfall in our own time? And more importantly, if this is the end of humanity as we know it, why does the Bible also speak of a new beginning immediately afterward? What happens after the final bowl is poured out? The answer may lie in the mystery of the New Jerusalem. After all the catastrophes, the book of Revelation describes something astonishing: a new celestial city descending from the heavens, shining like pure gold, where there is no more pain, death, or suffering. But what does this vision truly mean? The New Jerusalem is described with precise measurements, and once again, the number 7 is present in its symbolism. The 12 gates are guarded by angels but are divided into multiples of 7. The city's foundations bear names that resonate with the 7 spirits of God mentioned earlier. Could this be the ultimate promise? A perfect cycle that closes everything that began in Genesis and concludes in Revelation? Or is there still something we haven't seen? Another hidden secret in the number 7 that could completely change our understanding of spirituality and the human destiny. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep receiving more amazing content like this.